Hello world, good morning. Where I am, it's about 5 a.m, but hello world, good morning. I'm doing the duty, since no one else was available, it looks like. I am the last pick. But I have a special show for you guys. We're gonna do, if I can get these links, we're gonna do the grand final of the Season 6 Cup for the Discord League. So this should be a bit of fun. We have our Season 5 champion, MindsDesire, returning after this huge bracket played out. And we get to the final with Qkieu playing Phoenix and MindsDesire playing Dragon. So I'm going to take a look at the deck lists. This matchup's quite difficult from the Phoenix perspective, just because you've got such a disparity in power level between your province row and your opponents. So we'll see how Qkieu does bridging that gap. His deck list looks pretty good here. 2 Magnificent Kimonos is kind of interesting. I know that that Demagog's been on them for a while now, but not widely played anymore. So that's pretty cool. No, he's forgoing Mia Satoshi and going for a more Shugenja heavy build. Master of Gi Satoshi is not going to be that useful in this matchup. Nothing else really stands out to me in this one. Next deck is the copy of Test. Fucking Yaruma. And Neil bemoaning the fact that he included this guy in his list when he signed up. I'm sure he wishes he didn't have him in there anymore. Because you never really want to buy him, and charge is, of course, restricted now, so... okay. Just making sure my sound's on. Alright. I'm going to jump into the game. If I can remember the password. Alright, I'm giving these guys the all clear. So this is Poland's hope against everyone's favorite Desi boy. The fuck happened here? Jumped in the wrong game. Everyone's favorite Desi boy, MindsDesire. There we go. Okay. Alright, so... doing my 5 a.m. coffee. We see a hard mulligan on the side of MindsDesire. He's mulliganing all 4. Qkieu has kept his entire row, so we'll see what he kept here. That is a pretty neat start for him. Yukuni is probably not a card that MindsDesire would have kept in this matchup, because you can get bad by against the waves. So he starts with a Great Suga with 3, which is become the bit of the norm now. This guy's incredibly powerful in the early turns. I wonder how we'll see Qkieu approach this, because like these days my gut is just to pass here. But we'll see what he does. He goes with the Adept with no Fate. Passing Fate goes to MD. They both pass. And I imagine we'll see 5 bids. Some players do like to bid a little lower against Dragon turn 1. Especially with the new packs coming up. He goes for a 4 bid. Seems fine, given that he's second player, he can kind of hopefully spend a couple cards on defense first. Alright, so I've enlisted the help of a another caster. Travis is going to join me. Perfect timing, because not much has happened so far. So we get to the conflict phase, and it's going to be a Tattooed Wanderer, a Coverted Conflict, and he's going to run into Shameful. This is going to be an expensive defend for Qkieu. You'd hope he had like a Shrine Maiden, he could play it with a Fate into the conflict, and then use Shameful Display. The sort of Phoenix build that Qkieu is playing at the moment, a lot of Phoenix players have been testing out Hurricane Punch. In addition to the Tattooed Wanderers and Let Goes, which has been working out pretty well. If this breaks with like no defense here, it's going to be really, really brutal. It's just a pretty appalling start if that happens. If you guys are in chat, say hello. Oh, I'm reading chat because we've got 2 monitors. Living the fucking high life, boys. We do see that. What does he get? Benton's Touch, Fine Katana, Ornate Fan. A little bit of a low roll there. Discarding Fantanas. We see the Shameful go off. Supernatural Storm. And we see a Bonsai. Okay, so this is going to be a break unless... is Qkieu running Bonsais? Let's have a look. He isn't. This is going to be... 10 military skill. Pretty hard to defend against. Hello, Travis. Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. You hear me all right?
Yeah, I might turn you up just a little bit. Just give me a sec.
That's fine.
Alright, do you want to say some stuff?
Some stuff?
Alright, how does that sound, stream? I'm sure these guys will let me know if it doesn't sound great. Shout out to Shoot, Shane Ruman, and Spitfire. Welcome to the game. So yeah, I don't know if you missed the openers. It was a 5 bid to a 4 bid for the Dragon and 4 to the Phoenix. And we've seen a little bit of a tough conflict for the Phoenix here.
Yeah, Retsugu with the Tattooed Wanderer going in at the Palace. Has to use a Shrine Maiden just to even activate Shameful Display. The goal here is just to prevent the break, so if Q can play a Bonsai without actually...
He's not running it, unfortunately. It's going to be tough.
Yep. Without Bonsai, I don't think you can defend that conflict successfully.
Yeah. Not against the kings of stats, the green guys. They're too good at that.
Oh, interesting. He actually attacked water as well, so... maybe a bit of a misplay by Q to just not use Adept of the Waves ability before the first conflict was declared. Because then he couldn't covert the Adept.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it's just passing through. I mean, that is a horrible first turn for Qkieu.
Yeah, loses the favor, loses the province. Much
Imperial
bigger
Palace
board
is
for
done.
energy. And you didn't even get to get any scouts in, so you can't really safely bid 5 here either. And you flip a really awkward flop with Tadaka and Kaede. I mean, MindsDesire is just going to slam the Swordsmith down and cloud whatever you buy. So I guess you put down Kaede and hope he doesn't have it.
That's what it looks like he's going for.
But now, like, you also just risk losing the Feast or Famine, because MindsDesire can just buy this Togashi Initiate with no fate.
Yeah, man, it really, really hurts your chances when you don't get to scout turn 1 at all. Because that was a turn to do it, right? He had like 7 cards in hand and guys with no fate, so that was the opportunity. It's going to be pretty costly.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd just bid 1 here as Q.
I agree.
Maybe you get a Dishonor Pressure out, but like you can't do anymore.
Yep, there he goes.
Yep. Hand size is actually relatively even, but that's just because Retsugu has 2 attachments on board, so...
So my gut when I'm in this situation, I haven't played the matchup enough in this specific clan matchup, but my gut here is when I have a 10 card hand size and a 3 fate dude, is to not attack. And just try and spend cards defending if I can and then go for the following turn. But I don't know if that's a winning strategy. It's just a really tough position.
It depends on the contingencies you have in hand.
Yep. Obviously,
you can play around Restoration by playing cards. If you have an Against the Waves, then attacking is really safe because you can just Against the Waves and lose the conflict. If you have Benton's Touch, it's like even better because you can just Benton's Touch Kaede and bow her, so you're not breaking. But if you don't have any of those contingencies, you can't attack.
And so if you run into Resto, you're just rolling the dice. You got like a 1 in 4 chance of getting boned.
So he plays a Finger of Jade. MindsDesire almost certainly has a let go for it, though, and of course he's not going to play it.
Yep.
Looks like we see him using Against the Waves aggressively here to get rid of the Swordsmith's Finger of Jade, which is rather interesting. I'm not sure I
if
totally
MindsDesire doesn't have a reprieve, or another Finger of Jade, he would surely just let him bow, right? Because if the assassinate, I'm thinking the only reason Qkieu does that is to set up an assassination.
Yeah, that's probably the case. You've got all the honor in the world to spend.
So might be a bit of a mistake if he doesn't have. Okay, so we see a let go on the Kaede's finger.
Yep, that's just so that you can shameful her into non-statitude.
That's the big problem with this character, right? And a lot of the Phoenix high drops is the high glory. It's just horrible downside.
Yeah. I mean, that's the main reason I don't like Kaede. But to Qkieu's benefit here, he almost certainly has a court games because he brought the Shrine Maiden along.
Yep.
So he'll be able to re-court games Kaede into neutral status. Also going fire here is a interesting choice rather than, say, earth.
There's the assassination. So that is, I think maybe it was a little bit of a mistake from MindsDesire to oh no, okay, he's got the center.
He had the center.
There you go. Yeah.
There's 3 layers of protection for a dragon. You've got your reprieves, you've got your fingers, and you've got your censures.
Yeah, it's just making that turn 1 look even nastier.
Yeah, so we're gonna play the Clarity of Purpose now. And then probably court games Kaede. MindsDesire's board will be bowed out, so you should be able to come back and break the Shameful display. However, MindsDesire can counter court games by just using Raitsugu's duel on the Shrine Maiden.
Yep. And then he can duck away with Raitsugu, right? And then make an attack with the favorable.
Yeah, he could do that as well. I think he really wants to not lose this conflict, though, because Kaede triggering twice this turn would be pretty bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'll only do that if he's confident he can win the conflict. Oh, he's just going to go ahead and pull the Swordsmith now. So the Swordsmith will probably attack water here.
He's going to repeat Against the Waves here, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's clever.
I wonder if Qkieu is going to go ahead and court games here. Nope, just going to take the loss. Fair enough.
So he spent an assassination and 2 triggers of Against the Waves with 2 fate. It's a very, very expensive start, but if you can get Kaede to go off here, it'll be a nice boon for him.
He's running pajamas, right?
Pajamas?
The Magnificent Kimono.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Pajamas.
Yeah.
So a Magnificent Kimono here would be quite big.
He's got to... He has actually got to find a skill from somewhere, though.
That's true. Phoenix has a lot of... Phoenix can typically get a military skill.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a supernatural storm in the discard pile, but he did recurse the Against the Waves instead of saving it for that. We're gonna go scouting. We find Feast or Famine, and he's used his box already, so there's no Against the Waves contingency here. So it's Benten's or another Against the Waves from hand as the outs. That's assuming, of course, MindsDesire pumps him to break.
There's a Benton's touch.
Okay, so he was just planning to Benton's this the entire time. He might also...
Okay, so maybe he didn't have a buff, and then in that case, scouting is absolutely the right call, right?
Yeah. You find Feast or Famine, you re-honor your Kaede. You don't get to trigger a Void Ring, that's okay. Next turn she'll be quite good still. It's not terrible for Qkieu right now, actually.
Yeah, this Forgotten Library is going to be doing some work for him.
We've already seen a Censure and a Let Go and a Bonsai. I actually think Tadaka is not a terrible buy right now. If for nothing else, then to just make sure that MindsDesire can't hit you with more Censure.
Yep.
Your Clouds also wouldn't be able to be Let Go. MindsDesire bought a Neaton Master, so like Tadaka plus 3 Fate's not terrible. The only problem with that is you'll be entering conflict phase with 1 Fate.
Do you think that it gives you more value than Prodigy of the Waves? probably at this
Oh,
point.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Prodigy, you just have to expect is going to get clouded, so you're buying a 4-cost 3/3 in this matchup.
Yep.
Tadaka will also probably get clouded, but he's at least a 5/3.
And Qkieu still got 3 let goes that he hasn't spent yet, so.
Yes, that's also true. Qkieu decides to go back up to 5.
Oh, God, I hate when this happens. Swordsmith finds the cloud. That
Yep.
5 bid's kind of interesting. I guess he doesn't
Well, he's on
mind.
defense first action this turn. Looks like we're going to get a value masterpiece. Probably removing a fate from the water ring to the void ring.
Void. Probably void.
Water is quite strong for Qkieu right now because MindsDesire is 2/1 pick. Actually, MindsDesire is first player, so never mind that statement. It would be quite strong, but look at he's just evening it out. Oh, I see what he's doing. Yeah, because MindsDesire will get the first 2 conflicts, so it doesn't matter if he moves it to a ring right now. He'll guarantee forfeit either way.
Yep. We see another Wanderer.
It's an attachment, man. It's really strong.
Yeah. This is an uncomfortable position, especially from Phoenix position, having Shameful's really your only threatening province, like really threatening province, and having it broken turn 1 means you can't really lean on them for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm. Another thing as well that's bad is this for upholding authority. So we have public forum as like the most
How have you been finding
bad province.
How have you been finding upholding authority in your test?
It's better than public forum.
Sometimes it's really great, right?
I mean, it has won me a game now where like we're both. I'm on 3 breaks. He's on 2 breaks, and then he attacks upholding authority. I let it break. I see his hand. I discard like all of his X, Y buff, and then I just attack that conflict type, and then he can't buff.
Yep.
And so I have a guaranteed win. So it's definitely a lot better. Another thing about this matchup as well, with Shameful Display down, MindsDesire really only has to fear like meditations on the Dow. And so like he can actually like somewhat reliably save his Pathfinder's blades for after he reveals the province and not necessarily reveal them until he needs them.
Yep.
We're gonna honor the Neaton Master.
Oh, that is a big boy, and he's got a okay. He gets clouded.
There's the cloud.
If that cloud can stick, it's a good cloud.
Well, it's not going to stick because MindsDesire is going to win the Earth Ring.
And he pulls a let go. Ugh.
Brutal.
Ugh.
And then he uses a second let go to discard the cloud.
That is a horrible turn of events for Qkieu.
Yep. Unlucky.
Yep.
I mean, this matchup's very hard without the new cycle cards. Uona makes it a little easier, and Nino helps a lot. Just giving you just more raw stats to actually like punch through.
Yep.
Like I think like if imagine if Qkieu had like Ningyo's in that first attack with Raitsugu, then like you could defend.
Yep.
A lot easier.
Agreed. I think Uona is just a huge monster.
Oh, she is absolutely a huge monster. So we see a fan on Kaede here. We're just pre-playing cards because I think we're scouting.
Yeah, you don't want to go to either of those.
Into Shameful.
Yeah.
So let's see how many cards he can put down.
Political first makes sense because it means he's going to be able to replay a Clarity of Purpose if he wants to.
Yeah, Clarity is probably one of the better cards you can replay. It's a stronghold other than like big fat supernatural storms.
Yep.
Going with both characters, yeah, that's fine because none of the provinces are scary.
So he's going to lose 3.
That you need to know the conflict.
Bit of a low roll. 50-50 shot, I guess.
Yeah, he managed to hit all 3 of the bad provinces before finding the garden, but that's just how it is.
Yep.
This matchup is definitely Dragon favored.
Oh man, he discards.
Phoenix, you have to get a little lucky for sure.
Against the waves and Karmic Twist.
Oh, the Karmic Twist is really good here, actually. If he can win this conflict, Cloud the Mind on Kaede, never lucky.
And he's had his
but if he won this conflict, he
that
can void
so
the sword
sick.
and then twist.
Alright, does have another one.
Yeah, that's good. If MindsDesire has another one, then that's pretty good for him.
We know he had one because he pulled it from the Swordsmith.
Yeah, but now you
This
have to
one.
choose between recursing the Clarity or using the Karmic Twist.
Mm. Oh, he's got one from hand. Okay.
All right,
Very nice.
even better.
Yep.
All right, so there's some hope here.
Swordsmith comes in. This is just to prevent some honor loss, right? He's realizing he's not going to need
Yep.
the favorable ground.
Yep. And we did use the Clarity on Kaede, right? Yes. And Qqieu probably is just going to sacrifice this public form to get another attack in with Kaede.
Yep. So she's being coverted, and we're seeing
He
the
has
Void
a
Ring.
choice anyway. Yeah, we're going to immediately play that Karmic Twist. Immediately. Yep. Before like a Finger of Jade happens or anything else. Like, obviously MindsDesire doesn't have it because he would have already played it, but the Karmic Twist is just going to happen, and that's very important.
It's a big play. It is a big play, but at the same time, a Swordsmith hanging around for 3 more turns is pretty gross.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot better than the Neaten Master.
Yes,
the Neaten Master is he's the Ubermensch of this matchup, man. He just like runs around and breaks all your stuff.
Card is pretty damn good.
We do see MindsDesire go ahead and put down another Katana and
reprieve.
a Reprieve. Yeah, unless Qqieu has the third Lekka, that Reprieve is going to be really bad.
Man, that 1 in 11 Earth Ring. I mean, I guess it was 2 in 11 because he had 2 of them, but whew.
Yep, unlucky. It happens sometimes. Raitsugu's going away at least, and as first player, oh no, Qqieu was first player this turn.
That is actually a pretty bad flop for MindsDesire, so maybe.
Oh no, yeah, Qqieu's first player this turn. He can actually bow the Neaten Master with the Water Ring. Get a Keeper Initiate. You have an Adept for Covert too. Oh, did he reprieve Raitsugu too? Oh no, Raitsugu had another Fate.
That's right.
Never mind.
So it's going to be at the end of this turn. It's going to look a little better board position wise.
Yeah. Mia Mystic really sucks right now because as Qqieu, it just says you can't cloud the mind anything.
Yep. We see 2 5 bids.
Yep. There's no more reason to play around any of Dragon's provinces. You're just going to attack Manicure Garden until it breaks, or maybe try and sneak Shameful if you can. Tadaka is back on, though, so that does help.
Oh man, that another bad Shrine Maiden for Qqieu. Finger of Jade, Court Games, and Kimono in the bin.
That is unfortunate.
So he's only got, out of 2 Shrine Maidens, he's got a single spell, which is pretty rough.
Yeah, it's below average. I think your Shrine Maiden probably gets you 1 spell-ish on average, maybe 1.5.
Joe.
I mean, this is how I just win with Phoenix. I just draw 3 cards with Shrine Maiden every time.
I had a game the other day where my opponent flopped two libraries and an Imperial Palace. I'm just like, well, I guess I just lose. Couldn't do anything. Can't happen.
Qqieu does have another Clarity in the discard here. He's actually got 2, so this political attack with Kaede does represent a fair amount.
Yep.
Unfortunately, can only covert. The best covert target is actually a Swordsmith.
Yeah, it's rough. Looks like MindsDesire is going to go for the token defense.
Yeah, I think he wants this garden to break.
Yep. He thought about throwing in Raitsugu because taking that fade off Kaede would be pretty huge, but decides
You're
he could get
attacking
it
water
later.
here. You should throw in Raitsugu as MindsDesire because actually I think the best battle target right now is Raitsugu.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get the Raitsugu bowed with this water conflict, then K-Day is safe.
Oh wow, no, he's gonna commit some bodies.
He's just committing all the valuable bodies.
Yep. We see an assassination. Does take him down to 3 honor. There's a huge hand size discrepancy here, though. MindsDesire's got double the cards in hand.
Right, and that's just because you have to take a 1-bid turn, and then you lost 3 to Restoration as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that pretty much makes up the difference there. You lost 4 cards from the 1-bid, and then 3 from...
There's some sick irony in a card called Restoration of Balance that makes one guy... When your hand sizes are equal, one guy cop it. Yep. It's pretty funny.
It's just how it is, man. He's restoring all the balance. It's sort of like the balance of the Force, and when they say that, they mean like the light side wins, like 100%.
Yeah, what balance? There was only ever 2 of those Sith guys, and like 150 Jedi. Alright, exactly. So you see Reitsugu's getting pumped. We're going to see a duel come out. K-Day is going to get cleaned up, or at least reduced to 0 fate. Qkieu can't. He has no more pumps to play. This is rough. Okay, so that'll be all she wrote. First action Cloud on the Niten. If this one sticks, it'll be good.
Currently
oh
let go,
my
but
god!
You can be a mystic, so we called that double Cloud. All right, that's good. It wasn't a misplay. He was just eating through the mystic to keep.
And we see a Cloud on Tadaka. So he's off.
Third luck out for MindsDesire's coming in here then.
That'd be so sick. Ah, that is a good card draw to have all 3.
Yeah. Well, he's drawn 28 cards, so
yeah,
it's not unlikely. AJ Masterpiece going to move this to the Earth Ring probably. Qkieu's low on cards. He's got no pumps apparently, so it's just a free advantage here.
Yep. What do you think about not playing Bonsai? Because I know I was doing that for a while where I was playing just the Storms, and eventually I was like, man, I'm not winning enough conflicts, so I put him back in.
I was on no Bonsai, I think, for Origins. I might be wrong, but this was pre-Pack 1. After Pack 1, I think you absolutely need the Bonsai again, because you have Hurricane Punch.
Yep.
And, like, Hurricane Punch without Bonsai feels really awkward, because, like, you might win a conflict, but more often than not, I always found I was always, like, 1 skill short, because, like, I'd play a Hurricane Punch, and then they would just Bonsai, and then, like, I just used it to cycle. It felt like, you know, it's okay, because you cycled.
Yep.
But it's not winning the conflict. And so I added 2 Bonsai back in, and that goes a lot smoother.
Oh, Kami Unleashed goes off, and he discards against the waves. Oh.
Yep.
And
that's the 3rd break, too. Loses the display of power.
Oh, man.
MindsDesire on 3, though. The display of power would have been really big.
He does have another weapon.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's drawn almost all his deck. He's only played like 4 weapons. So you could go for a military here.
I think he'd want to try and get K-Day off. Oh, wow, no, he just passes? Qkieu passes? Man, I don't know. Guess he feels like he can't defend otherwise. So this is going to be rally.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I guess if you attack with K-Day, you could potentially. I don't know. I think you actually just lose now, right?
Well, I guess either way, whichever defender he leaves back is going to get coverted. So it's really rough.
Oh, he did have the Supernatural Storm, but he saved it for this conflict.
Rally's still breaking. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's just Dragon, man.
And we have
Master just went over the game.
We have our second 2-time champ. So congrats to Anil. Well done, MindsDesire. Wow, man, that is quite impressive to win 2 in a row. I gotta say, that deck is quite fearsome, dude. I really hate playing against it.
Yeah, it is. And like, just unlucky for Qqieu, I think. You have to be really lucky in this matchup to make it like even close. MindsDesire just has so many cards to run you over, really, and answers to your stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those things
Kayden-
where there's a natural advantage for the dragon, and then if they also like run good with the variants, you just have no hope, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Dragon has to get unlucky, and you have to get lucky, I think, for Phoenix to win this matchup pre-Elemental Cycle. Elemental Cycle, this matchup's much closer.
Man, I've been loving the new cards. I'm happy to hear that though, because yeah, this matchup was very, very difficult. Anyway, thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate that.
No problem, man. Thanks for streaming.
Saved me from doing it alone. And thanks for you guys for watching. And yeah, stay tuned for more Discord action. We'll be covering Cup 7 and Season 8 as well. So that's me signing off. Thank you very much.